know and inspire.
Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right? When you're working really hard towards a goal. Maybe you've tried all the popular stuff, gratitude journals, visualizations, repeating affirmations, but you still kind of find yourself asking, why isn't this working? Am I doing something wrong here?
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into a really powerful idea, one that kind of challenges our usual understanding of how we bring desires into reality.
Exactly. For so many people, the whole concept of attraction, it feels like this external effort, like you're reaching out for something that isn't here yet.
Yeah, like trying to pull it towards you.
Right. But what if the whole premise was just subtly off? What if we've been looking in the wrong place all along? Our sources today, they introduce us to this really profound perspective, championed by thinkers like Neville Goddard. And it suggests we need to shift from trying to attract to simply be. Wow, okay. Simply be. That's a huge statement. So our mission today is to really unpack that distinction, explore maybe why the universe responds to something different than just our stated desires, and hopefully give you a practical way to apply this new understanding. Get ready for some potentially big aha moments, I think. Okay, let's get into this. Most of us, I'm sure, have said it. I want to attract more money. I want to attract love. I want to attract success. Right? That's common language.
And we follow the playbook, Write it down, visualize, affirm it, and then maybe we look around and think, why isn't it quite materializing? What's the disconnect?
Well, the core insight here, and it's really critical, often missed, is that you can't truly attract what you are not. The universe, see, it doesn't just respond to your wishes, your words. It responds to your state.
Your state. What do you mean by state, exactly? Your state is, well, it's that dominant inner feeling, your core emotional posture, you could say, the deeply held belief system about yourself. It often operates way below your conscious awareness. So if you say, I want to attract love, but inwardly, like deep down, you constantly feel lonely. You don't actually attract love. What happens is you attract confirmation of your loneliness, situations, people, experiences that just reinforce that feeling.
So it's less like a vending machine, put in a wish, get a result, and more like a mirror, reflecting what's already inside.
Precisely. That's a great way to put it. If you say you want money, but you're living constantly in a state of fear about bills or scarcity, you don't attract abundance, you attract confirmation of lack. Our sources suggest this isn't just some mystical thing either. It might be how our subconscious beliefs literally filter our reality. They make us kind of blind to opportunities that don't match our inner state.
That makes psychological sense too.
Right. It's less about the universe giving you something external and maybe more about you perceiving and acting in line with your inner world.
Yeah.
You shape what you even notice.
That really reframes things. So if the universe is mirroring our state, maybe we've misunderstood how that mirror works. And this is where it gets really interesting, because the material we looked at introduces this different idea, something Neville Goddard really emphasized. He said, you do not attract reality, you become it. What does that actually mean? Become it.
It sounds fundamentally different, yeah. Because it really is, where a lot of law of attraction stuff might focus on just, wishing hard. Goddard emphasized that the real change comes from an internal, felt assumption of the wish fulfilled, moving beyond just wanting to actually embodying that state.
Embodying it.
Yeah. Think about an actor. It's a good analogy. Say you deeply want to be an actor. But every day you just find yourself thinking or saying, I really want to attract a role. But you're sitting at home, maybe not practicing, not auditioning, crucially, not feeling like an actor inside. What's the universe, or maybe just reality, going to confirm?
That you're not an actor.
Exactly. It confirms you're not an actor. The role doesn't come because your inner state, your identity, isn't aligned with it.
Right. So the desire itself, if it's coming from that place of not having it, just reinforces the not having.
Precisely. But now imagine flipping that. Living every day as if you already are an actor. You internally declare, maybe even feel, I am an actor. You start reading scripts, you immerse yourself in roles, you imagine vividly what it feels like on stage.
You embody it.
You embody it.
Yeah.
You're not trying to attract a role from out there somewhere. You are it already, inside. And then what happens? The role comes. Not because you magically attracted it from the future, but because you became the person they were looking for. Your internal state matched the opportunity. The external world just lined up to reflect your internal reality. Goddard talked a lot about imagination being the real creative power.
Yeah, I've heard that phrase, feeling is the secret.
That's his. It's not just a fleeting positive thought, but a sustained, sensory-rich, emotional state that actually, he believed, imprints on reality. The outer world is just solidified imagination.
That makes so much sense with the actor example. So if it's about being the actor, not attracting the role, how did this play out for the person in our source material? Is there a specific story?
Oh, absolutely. The material shares this really powerful personal story that brings it home. There was a time when the author was, diligently trying to attract freedom and abundance, doing all the things.
Visualizations, affirmations, the works.
The works. By all conventional measures, doing everything right. Read and Elid. Yet internally, despite all that effort, they still felt like an employee. Deep down.
The underlying feeling again.
Exactly. They'd wake up to an alarm, feel that knot of fear about quitting their job, always waiting for permission, waiting for circumstances outside them to change so they could feel free. So their inner state was still one of dependence, limitation. And the universe, well, just kept reflecting that back. Confirmations of limitation, fear.
Wow. So they were basically stuck attracting more of what they felt, not what they said they wanted.
Pretty much. Until the turning point, which came with that Neville quote, "You do not become what you want to be. You already are it in imagination."
That must have hit hard.
Yeah, it sounds like a pivotal moment. It led to this critical shift inside. They stopped saying, "I want to be free," which, implies you're not free now, and started declaring, "I am a free person."
Not as a future goal, but as a present reality.
Yes, not just thinking about being free someday, but actually starting to live from that feeling right then and there.
Even while still in the job.
Even while still in the job, they'd wake up and declare, "I don't go to work, I live freely." They focused on cultivating that feeling of freedom, that inner state. Even as external circumstances looked the same for a bit, they felt, "I am this. I am already here." And you know what? Within just 2 months, an opportunity popped up, a project that allowed them to leave the job and actually step into that freer lifestyle.
Wow.
But see, the point wasn't that they attracted a new job out of the blue. It was that they became the person who already lived freely internally, and the external reality just naturally aligned itself to match that established inner state.
That's fascinating. It really shifts the focus inward. Now, I can imagine some listeners thinking, okay, but isn't this just like positive thinking with a different label? What's the real difference here?
That's a really good question, and it gets to the heart of it. It's a crucial distinction. Positive thinking often focuses on optimism about the future. Things will get better. I believe I can achieve this someday. It's still kind of looking forward, implying the desired thing isn't here yet.
Right, there's still a separation.
Exactly, and that's the key. When you try to attract something, you're fundamentally operating from a feeling of lack. You're basically saying, this thing I want, it isn't here, I don't have it. It's an attempt to pull something from the outside in.
And that feeling of lack, that separation, might be what's actually getting mirrored back.
That's the idea. Conversely, when you become, you operate from a recognition that what you desire is, in essence, already within you.
Yep.
You shift into a state of possession, you could say, declaring internally, this already is, I already feel this, I already live this. The separation dissolves.
So it's not future hope, it's present fact. Internally, at least.
Precisely. It reminds me of that old story, maybe you've heard it, about the king who loses his memory.
Vaguely, yeah. Lives as a peasant.
Right. Lives in a hut, works the fields, totally believes he's just a poor farmer. But then one day, he finds an old ring, maybe tucked away, an ornate ring, and looking at it, something clicks. He doesn't need to attract his kingdom back. He simply remembers he is the king.
Ah, okay. The identity was always there, just forgotten.
Exactly. And then the external world just rearranges itself around that remembered truth. Not because he wished for it, but because he knew who he was again. So in this view, you don't attract wealth or love or health from outside. You remember that you are these things inherently. It's less about becoming someone new and more like coming out of disguise, shedding the layers of belief and feeling that hid your true state.
Coming out of disguise. I like that.
The traditional attraction model often fails because it starts from separation. You're here, the dream is over there, and you're trying to bridge the gap. But the universe, or reality, seems to respond to unity. When you become, you eliminate that distance. You don't ask for something you feel you lack. You simply accept it, assume it, as a present fact of your being. This isn't just thinking happy thoughts. It's a deep declaration of state.
Can you give some examples of those declarations?
Sure. So instead of, I want to attract love, the declaration is, I am a loved person.
Yeah.
Feeling that warmth, that connection now. Instead of, I need to attract money, it's, I'm a source of abundance.
Yeah.
Feeling that flow, that security. Now, instead of, I hope I attract health, it's, I am a living, strong body. feeling that vitality now.
Wow. Okay, the idea that I'm already in my imagination, that complete flips how I've thought about goals.
Yeah.
This is a powerful stuff. So for anyone listening right now who's thinking, okay, I'm ready, I want to move from attracting to becoming, our source material actually lays out a practical method, calls it the declaration ritual. What are the steps involved in that?
Yeah, it's designed to be a daily practice. Morning or before bed seems good, especially maybe when you feel that resistance or doubt creeping in. It helps solidify that inner state. There are basically 5 steps as laid out in the source.
Okay.
First step, stop what you're doing. Close your eyes, take maybe 3 deep, slow breaths, and then say aloud, I release attempts. I choose to be. It's like signaling a shift, letting go of the striving.
Release attempts. Choose to be. Got it.
Second, find your I am. Ask yourself, who am I already in my dream? Not what do I want, remember, but who am I already? So examples could be, I am a loved person, I am a source of abundance, I am a free creator, I have a healthy, strong body. Choose one phrase. And interestingly, the source suggests maybe picking one that even feels a little resistant, like it triggers something. That often means it's important.
Okay, find the core I am identity. Then what?
Third, live it. This is where the feeling comes in. 5 minutes for this. Close your eyes again. Now imagine living from this state right now, not visualizing a future scene, but feeling the reality of it now. How does it actually feel to be loved, to be abundant, to be healthy and vibrant? Really immerse yourself in that sensation. And as you feel it, just repeat silently, I am this, I am this, I am this. Let it sink in.
So 5 minutes of really soaking in that feeling. Okay, what's next?
Fourth step, declare aloud, open your eyes. And then clearly, and with real feeling, state, I am your chosen I am phrase. I feel this, I live this, thank you. So if you chose I am a loved person, you'd say, I am a loved person. I feel tenderness, care, support. I live this, thank you. It sort of externalizes and reinforces that inner shift.
Brings it into the conscious world. Makes sense. And the last step.
Step 5 is live from it. Basically, for the rest of your day, keep returning to that feeling. When doubt pops up or old thought patterns try to sneak back in because they will gently remind yourself, no, I'm this, I'm already here. It's about continuous reinforcement. So for instance, if you declare, I am abundant, and then, big bill arrives.
Yeah, the classic test.
Right. You don't immediately flip back to panic mode. You gently acknowledge the bill, but return to the feeling of abundance. Knowing the external is just temporary, but your internal truth remains. Then you act from that place, maybe finding a creative solution instead of reacting from lack.
That's incredibly practical, a daily practice to cultivate the state. But I can still hear some people thinking, okay, what if I say I am rich, but, my bank account is literally 0? Isn't that just lying to myself? Isn't it delusion? How do we address that? It's a common sticking point.
It's a totally natural and very common concern, yeah.
Yeah.
But the material addresses this really beautifully, actually. No, it's not a lie. It's not self-deception in that sense. It's framed as a proclamation of the truth that exists within you already at a deeper level, like potential.
Okay. Explain that a bit more.
Think of an acorn, an oak seed. It's tiny, right? It's not yet a huge, towering oak tree. But it is an oak, isn't it? Its entire potential, its oakness, is already inside it.
Right. The blueprint is there.
Exactly. It doesn't need to attract being an oak tree from somewhere else. It already is an oak, just waiting for the right conditions. Soil, water, sun to unfold and reveal its inherent nature. In the same way, this perspective suggests you don't attract your dream from outside. You are already the one living it, in potential, in imagination, in your core being. You're just allowing that inner truth, that blueprint, to manifest outwardly, letting your inner reality become your outer experience. It's about recognizing what's already present within.
Wow. The oak seed analogy really helps clarify that. It's not a lie. It's acknowledging the potential as present reality within. So if you've been with us on this deep dive, you're probably feeling how profound the shift in perspective really is. It moves away completely from trying to get something that feels missing or working so hard to pull it in from somewhere else.
Exactly. It's all about recognizing what you already are. Not focusing on you will become, but knowing you already are.
Yeah.
The universe, or reality, doesn't respond just to your effortful attempts to attract. It responds to your state of being, who you are inside. So we'd really encourage you, try the I am this declaration, maybe even today. Not just for the outcome, not just to see what you can get.
But for the feeling itself.
But for the feeling itself, for the shift inside.
Because maybe one day you'll just wake up and realize Everything you dreamed of, it's already here. It's become your reality. You simply stopped trying so hard to attract it, and you started being it. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into what feels like a truly transformative idea. We really hope it sparks some new insights for you and empowers you on your journey, the journey of remembering who you truly are.
Know and inspire. Subscribe and like, because it will be more interesting further.